Denmark prides itself as being a nation that looks ahead, from bicycle superhighways to being one of the first places on earth to move towards a cashless society. Given this country is open to innovation and transformation, where does that leave mental health? Lovely to meet you. True. So my question to the psychologists and psychiatrists here in digital Denmark is, how do you feel about the rising use of technology in mental health here?
I'm an optimist, but also a realist. I think there are great opportunities, but we have to have the scientific studies to prove that they actually are improving the treatment of patients.
My biggest concerns is that technology can stand in between human beings in some of these processes where we need to get to know ourselves better.
I think it can help us in various ways by automating some of the current processes we have, which can free up time for the healthcare professionals, so we can actually spend more time together with the patients.
I think that the use of technology can reduce the need for psychiatrists, nurses, as well as it can increase the demand. But we should reduce to the benefit of the patient and carer.
I think that the presence that you have as a psychologist, that you're able to sit there and be with the patient and contain their pain. I'm definitely not afraid of being replaced in that sense by technology as it is of today. Maybe in the future. Who knows?
Wow, that question certainly prompted some interesting answers. But I think we need to meet the developers and see the tech that is revolutionising mental health here in Denmark. So join us for the ride. This is Mindset. Denmark, home to beautiful cities and a laid-back lifestyle, prides itself on its people's health and well-being. Danes even have a unique word for what brings them joy.
Hygge.
Hygge?
Yeah.
Yeah, hygge. What is hygge?
Like when you with your friends and you're having fun with them.
Across the country, schools like Rami and Rihanna's are embracing new technology to improve well-being in the classroom. Children here use mood monitoring apps such as Wolf that quiz them about how they're feeling. After the results are in, students and teachers like Henrietta Viskum can see the overall mood of the class.
Okay, er vi klar? Klar til resultatet. Okay, 4,6 i humør. Vi er lidt oppe i humør. Det er super. Top positiv, det kommer ikke bag på nogen. Det er familie, ligesom det plejer. Top negativ, sociale medier. Hvad handler det om? Har det været... Sker der et eller andet noget på sociale medier, Emil?
Ligesom, jeg hørte fra programmet, jeg ved ikke om det er rigtigt, at Aisha Speeds lillebror, han har fortalt alt, hvad han er gået igennem i skolen, og han er blevet mobbet from type og sådan noget.
Their number one negative point today was social media, and that opens the conversation. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, this streamer that did that, or this happened on TikTok, and then it's good for me to know, oh, okay, something really bad is going on right now. That's good for me to be aware of, maybe also the parents.
You know, when you see the screen, it kind of gives you a statistical overview of a classroom. Why are the stats important to you as a school teacher?
So as teachers, it's become such a multifaceted job, and we have a lot of issues with kids that are not having a good time and a lot more administrative work as well. So it's good for me to have a tool that's making sure that I check in with them every week.
I dag vi har taget 4 ting, vi gerne vil igennem.
Henrietta is part of a small group of teachers who give feedback to the team behind Wolf so they can keep improving the app. CEO Matthias Probst shows me how it works.
It's super easy to do with Wolf. It takes 3 minutes in the classroom, right? So this is a QR code that you can use with your phone.
Yep.
It opens up in here. The very first thing I do, I choose a dog. And today I'm a happy dog, yeah? And I go on, and then after that, I can choose what impacts me positively right now. So food was good, yeah. Then what didn't work for me? Okay, one thing is social media impacts me badly right now. So then there's a different thing. This is, we call them selections. So the classroom, here building their narrative together. What do we like? Okay, I like the outdoor more than the indoor. That's definite. I also like group work more than working alone. And I also like fairy tales more than horror stories, Now this says, thank you for...
Wolf then generates a mood landscape for the class based on their answers.
This is how it would look for a teacher, right? So all the kids do this, and then here you see, this is the dogs they chose. This is the positive and the negative impact factors. Then over here you have the classroom interests. And again, this is building up the narrative of the classroom. What do we like? And this is something that is super important for us. We want the classroom to work on well-being together instead of working it individually. If something impacts us, we need to take the responsibility together and then help each other out.
Is there any way that encourages children to ensure that they're giving as honest answers as possible?
Yeah, we chose very early on to do this, to do everything anonymously. Super important because the very difficult thing in a classroom is to speak up on a topic.
For Rihanna and Rami, this technology has given their class a space to talk about the issues they face in their lives.
Because you guys all talk about it as like a classroom, like the problems, does that make it easier to talk about like issues like bullying or social media in a group?
I think it's better to speak in a group because maybe all of us have the same problem. So we can like talk about it together, how to fix the problem.
Wolf also helps teachers bring the class together by providing fun group challenges for the children to do.
There were a lot of issues in this class. We've had to kind of build on that, build the community, build trust between the kids, that they can trust in me to try to solve their problems.
Matthias and the other 3 creators of Wolf know the classroom well. They all taught in Denmark's public school system and were frustrated with the lack of support for youth mental health.
We have more resources than a lot of other countries. We have one of the best schooling systems, so why do the kids not thrive? And they don't. It's been a curve going down for a long time. It's the biggest problem that we face. The mental health of our youth, that is what drives me, putting my energy towards that.
In Denmark, there's heated debate surrounding the use of technology by children, ranging from screen time to data privacy. Matthias says Wolf protects children by collecting no personal data at all, but notes that misapprehensions remain about how the technology works.
For instance, we don't do AI at all, but you can put us in some kind of situation where you say, AI is crazy, it's dangerous, and you guys are kind of doing it. We're not doing AI, and we're never going to do AI. We do an analysis for the teacher. Very different.
You were just quite forthright in saying you would never do artificial intelligence. What is your aversion to that technology?
I think it's early stage technology. There are many problematic fields within AI that we haven't, discovered yet. So I wouldn't bring that into a fairly new technology that we've created.
In my conversation with Matthias, I was quite surprised when he said that he wouldn't use any artificial intelligence technology in any future software that he develops. But as you'll soon discover, not every inventor feels that way.
At the Technical University of Denmark, Lena Clementsen has spent 5 years creating AI-based systems to help clinicians screen and treat children for mental disorders. One of them is this bracelet that can predict the onset of episodes of obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD.
It's a little bit like a sports watch. It has some sensors here on the back that can measure your heart rate and like skin conductors. So if you're sweating, it can measure that. It can measure temperature of the skin.
The bracelet sends the data to a computer, which identifies patterns that correlate with the start of an OCD episode, then notifies parents and the child so they can try to avoid it.
What is the role of AI in this product?
So the machine learning algorithm behind this is giving me this red bar prediction saying, okay, I'm detecting that something is happening here.
The bracelet, which is still in its development phase, is designed to track patients' progress and break compulsive habits.
We believe that the habits needs to be changed every day at home in the situation you are in. So we're trying to use technology, AI, to help us do that.
But with great power comes great responsibility.
This technology deals with measuring the mental health of a child. Some parents would have an aversion to having their children monitored. How carefully do you have to tread as an innovator and developer?
Oh, very carefully, I think. And we need to think about like data protection and cybersecurity of these systems, absolutely. I think a lot about the purpose and the values that it should bring, and is it benefiting society? And then if so, yeah, that motivates me to work on this.
It's this passion and interest in the future of technology that's led Lena to her next project, where people are coached to develop emotional awareness in focused exercises. But this coach isn't a person. It's an AI-powered chatbot that can respond to voices and facial expressions.
Hello, I'm here to help guide you through exploring and expressing your emotions. Let's start by identifying which emotion you find the most challenging to express.
Yeah, so we could, for example, work on happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah.
And it thinks...
I'm detecting some anger in your facial expression.
Is that you or is that me?
I don't know, let's work on that.
Once you have it in mind...
The chatbot asks me to imagine an incident which might make me angry.
Skipping lunch.
That certainly sounds frustrating. Now take a moment to really connect with that anger. As you visualize the feeling of hunger when you've missed lunch, pay attention to how it feels when you let this emotion live on your face. Please take your time and let me know when you're ready to move on.
I'm ready.
Wonderful. Now I invite you to let that anger go. Allow your body and face to relax, returning to a neutral state. Take as much time as you need and let me know when you're ready to continue.
Please continue.
Great job! You are doing well learning to express and control your emotions.
Where do you see this technology really helping people in the mental health sector?
This specific working on emotions could be more on the autism spectrum, for example, where you need to work with how to express emotion, but it could be any of us saying, okay, there's maybe, you know, in a work situation where you often look angry, but this is not what you're trying to express. You could also go in and work on that through an app like this.
6 months ago, would this be even possible?
Maybe not to this extent. There's a lot of stuff happening right now in this space, and it's just improving with very high speed.
After speaking to developers here in Denmark, it seems their focus is improving psychological treatment and mental well-being. It's not about creating tools that replace psychologists or psychiatrists. Humans are still very much needed in mental health treatment.
And that treatment seems to be needed now more than ever. According to government figures, around half the population here will suffer from a mental disorder at some point in their lifetime. One rare condition is schizophrenia, in which patients can experience hazy, confused thoughts or hear things that exist only in their minds.
It was very hard because the voices were so loud and it was a constant issue that was there every day, all the time. My confidence was so low back then because of it.
24-year-old Sophie Olsen has suffered from schizophrenia since early childhood. Today, she's part of the world's largest study exploring the use of immersive virtual reality to treat her condition. Guided by a therapist, headset sessions aim to help patients safely confront the voices in their head.
Så feminin, maskulin, hvilken retning skal vi?
Feminin.
Over mod det feminine.
It begins with designing an avatar that resembles the hallucination Sophie hears. First, she chooses how the avatar looks.
Og håret? Ja, det var jo det med, at det skal være lidt længere.
Det skal være lidt længere.
Ja. Jeg tror, det var shoulder length straight.
Og alder?
Ja, det er måske en lille smule.
Then she chooses what the avatar sounds like.
Pitch, kan du huske, hvad det er?
Ja, jeg tror ikke, den skal ændres på så meget.
En hverdag i dag, hvor solen skinner.
Ja.
Super.
Ja.
Sophie then puts the headset on and starts speaking with the avatar, which is voiced by the therapist.
Det er jo menneskeligt at lave fejl. Vi er ikke alle perfekte. Der er ikke nogen, der er perfekte. Jo, det kan jeg da godt. Det er menneskeligt at...
Sophie is encouraged to speak up against the avatar so that the hallucinations lose their power or disappear.
Sophie, in that environment with the headset on, being immersed, how does that help you cope? Like, can you explain that?
It really helps because I suddenly have the voice inside my head in front of me and being able to talk directly to it rather than just in my head. It's me who's in control and it's me who's able to say, like, no, don't say that, that's not true, that's not the way I am, you don't know that about me.
So it sounds as though you feel like strong.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like suddenly I have the power over myself and not the voices.
Sophie's tried other types of treatment, including medication and speaking with a therapist, but says only virtual reality therapy has worked.
What surprised me probably the most was how, just through the first session, how well it made me feel instantly, basically, at like being able to talk to it that way in my own like little safe space.
The team from the University of Copenhagen, who are leading the study, say that all schizophrenic patients who have undergone the treatment have shown some form of improvement. Buoyed by their success, the researchers are now testing their tech on other mental health conditions. They're hoping they can change more lives like Sophie's.
Sophie, what are your dreams? What do you hope to do in life?
Well, I want to be out there and do what I love, whether it's working with animals or with animation or something like that.
And how do you hope this therapy will help you achieve those dreams?
It would definitely help a lot because with my past educations and stuff like that, it was always the battle of, oh, you're gonna drop out, you're never gonna become anything. Now I can say like, it's okay. It's all about like taking chances and seeing if they work or not.
As someone who's benefited from using technology, Sophie hopes Denmark will continue to embrace new innovations to improve mental health and well-being.
People should have an open mind towards technology when it comes to mental health because instead of being afraid, we can use it to our advantage and that technology can help the way it helped me. I do truly hope that other people are able to use it soon enough so they also can feel the relief I have felt.
That's the end of this edition of Mindset. If you want to catch other episodes in the series, go to aje.io/mindset. Thanks for watching.